Welcome to Deep Thought, Mental Health Crises. You know what? This is something we really got to think about, regardless of your political affiliation, your racial background, ethnic background, religious beliefs. One thing we really need to be thinking about in this society is this mental health crisis. Now, there's a lot of talk about these constant shootings we've had. So far, I've heard 199, you might as well say 200 so far in this country. And it might be 200, it might increase by the time this video actually come up. And there's all the talk about gun control and all of that, okay. But there's an even deeper crisis with that. And that's the mental health thing. Because when they have been able to catch the killers alive, or even they find out information about them, it's usually some mental health issue, one way or the other, usually. I'm not sure. I mean, it might be something where, they were totally sane, but probably not. But that's a major issue. That's a major issue. People are dying because of a mental health issue. And indeed, I'm gonna tell you what, and I've said this, I even did a video on my main channel. My main channel, talk about man gets woman, relationships. I actually had on a mental health practitioner, professional, on just to talk about the different situations and everything, because it's been my thought that many relationship issues have to deal with mental health. But I also don't talk about it as much because I'm not an expert there. I'm not a mental health expert. And even what I'm saying now, even when times where I say, hey, don't be afraid to get therapy, that's an opinion. That's not a medical opinion. Indeed, I've had young men who would hit me up and say, hey, they were having some mental health issues. And I would say, you need to get a professional. I can't help you with that. But it's a serious thing because, okay, we talking about with the school, with all the shootings. We're talking about it in relationships, but overall, there are many people out here suffering. I have a dear friend who is suffering because from an abusive relationship. She's still suffering. She is still suffering, and no telling when it will be, it will like take care of itself. In fact, I've known several women and several men who've suffered because of that, just the relationship part or different things. And then you have, dare I say it, standard stuff that people ain't talking about, personality disorders, things of, maybe schizophrenia. That's shit. I mean, you still have people out there like that. I had another friend who was going through some stuff, and I could see how it was really messing up her life. And I know about this personally, and because I've said it before, one issue with my mother was a mental health issue. I don't remember her, I don't have a conscious memory of her at any point in my life not being mentally ill. That played a part in why the courts removed my sister and myself from her custody and, into my grandparents' custody. That was a major reason. She dealt with that to her passing. I pray that she's having a peaceful afterlife. But it's a serious issue. It's affecting people on many levels. Even that, let me go back into that. Technically, I'm considered the adult child of a mentally ill. It's like being an adult child of an alcoholic. I had to grow up early. One of the reasons why I'm so serious and it affected my life, I had to start acting and thinking like an adult at 6 years old. So it has an effect. So the mental health crises is not only affecting just the people that are having a crisis, but it's affecting their loved ones and everything. There's many caretakers out there. There's many people in relationships. There's many people who have had parents. There's many parents who've had children going through it. And in my view, there needs to be more focus on it. There needs to be way more focus. They meet, yeah, and you do have, in all fairness, yes, there are many professionals. I'm gonna tell you what I'm not as big a fan of, and that's the medications. And the reason why, because pharmaceutical companies do have stuff that's supposed to help you. They still gotta make money. So are they really helping you? Or they keeping you drugged up with legal drugs? Yeah, that's one of the few times I'm gonna say something political like that, but I mean it. Are they really helping you? Yes, there's plenty of counselors, therapists, spiritual leaders who are really trying to help, but I'm not sure about the pills. From a personal basis, seeing it within my own family, not a fan, not a fan. But I think counseling would be. But then, on an even deeper level, we have to ask ourselves one serious question. What is it that's causing all of this? Personally, this is personal, and I still have to really study this. So I'm using the word I think. Whenever I use the word think, that means I'm not sure. Now, when I speak with authority and say this, this, and this, I've done the research. I'm still researching this, and this takes a lot of research. But I think it's the culture itself, overall culture. I don't think it's really nurturing in a necessary way to everyone. I really don't. I really don't. And people, a lot of their mental illness, mental problems is coming from trying to navigate a particular culture. I believe that's the issue. Now, like I said, I'm not sure. It's unfortunately, I can look at some here and there, but I would need to do some serious research. If someone has anyone who's researched anything along those lines, please share it with me, either in the comments or hit me up on my contact information in the description box, and let me know what research you've seen on the cultural aspect of it, And especially if you are a mental health professional. I'm still researching it, so I can't speak on it. At this point, I'm theorizing that might be an issue. And it might not be. It might not be. But that's part of the reason why I would do the research. And just as an aside, this is just something totally different. When you research things, it don't have to be with the mental health thing, just anything. Try to look at all sides of it to get a good conclusion, okay? Just in general, before you come to it, even if it contradicts it. Whenever I research something, I will purposely look for stuff to contradict it. I will look for something that contradicts it. I've looked for 20 years for something to contradict body game. I still haven't found it yet. But here's the thing, though. Back to the main subject. There's a crisis out here, and it really needs to be dealt with. I think there needs to be more time, more energy. I think politicians need to pass the laws. We need to do something because it's really hurting people. And for all the public stuff we see, the shootings or people doing some stuff or people getting under a lot of medical care, mental health care, you have so many people out here who are suffering in silence. And no telling how that's affecting their lives. We have to deal with it. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. Because if people aren't thinking right, if they are not healthy mentally, we're just going to have trouble in this society. So it has to be dealt with. And I can't, and that's something else that I can't give a definitive answer to. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm a writer. I can express my viewpoints on different things. But here's the thing with that. With that type of issue, we need everybody. We need the lay people just to share their personal experiences, but we need the mental health professionals. We need the researchers. We need the politicians. Indeed, even the businesses. As a whole culture, whole society, we got to deal with the issue because it's just going to cause further problems. So that's all I have to say. I can express my views on it, but to solve the problem is way, way bigger than me. But since we're all involved, everyone can contribute. Everyone can contribute something, all right? So That's all I have for today. Really think about it. It's an issue that we have to deal with. And like I said, I'm still, if you have anything that has any connection to the mental health crisis and culture, like I said, either share it in a link in the comments or hit me up privately. And that's just one angle. That's just one angle. I'm not going to say that's definitive. This the type of research this is. It really will take a village to really solve it, a whole society to deal with it. So, y'all have a great day today, and really think about what I'm saying. And if you're suffering, I was about to end it, but I got to say this. Spirit is moving me to say this. If you're suffering from anything mental health wise, please get professional help. Professional help. If for whatever reason you don't want to get professional help, find a spiritual leader. And if for whatever reason you don't want to find that, find a great friend who can listen. But definitely get help however you do it, because it's a real issue out here. I grew up with it. I grew up seeing the effects of it. This is from the outside. Saying I'm seeing it now with dear friends. So we have to deal with this issue. All right? Yeah. Peace and blessings. And you know what? Let's take care of this. Peace.